In 2026, we have everything at our fingertips, yet we feel like we are nothing. We are constantly busy, but we aren't actually doing anything. Martin Heidegger, the most controversial philosopher of the 20th century, predicted this exact moment. He warned that technology wouldn't just change our tools, would change our being. Today, we roam into the mind of the man who says the only way to find yourself is to look directly into the abyss. So, let's start with Heidegger's most famous and perhaps most confusing concept. Dasein. If you break down the German Da means there, and Sein means being. So, being there. Simple, right? Not exactly. For Heidegger, this wasn't just about existing in a place. It was about your unique way of existing in the world. He didn't care about what you are, a doctor, an artist, a student. He cared about how you are. Think about it. How much of your day is genuinely yours? When you choose your clothes, your music, your opinions, are you really choosing them? Or are you just following a script? Heidegger had a term for this. Dasein, which translates to the they. We dress like them, talk like them, and want what they want. They say this is the hot new show to watch, so we watch it. They say this is the career path to success, so we follow it. We become so absorbed in the chatter of the they that we lose our own voice. In modern terms, we become NPCs, non-playable characters in our own lives, just going through the motions, following the pre-written dialogue of society. This is where Heidegger's own life becomes a crucial part of the story. He wrote his masterpiece, Being and Time, in a tiny, rustic hut in the Black Forest of Germany. No electricity, no running water, no distractions, just him, his thoughts, and the deep, profound silence of the woods. He believed that to escape the noise of the day, you had to find a space of silence. It's in that silence, away from the constant pressure to conform, that you can finally begin to hear what he called the call of conscience, or the voice of being. It's not a literal voice, but that quiet, nagging feeling that there's more to life than just fitting in. It's the whisper that asks, is this really me? Heidegger argued that most of us live in a state of fallenness. We've fallen into the average, everyday world of the they, and we've forgotten that we are the ones who give meaning to things. We aren't just objects in the world, like a rock or a tree. We are a Dasein, the beings for whom being itself is a question. But to even start asking that question, you have to step away from the crowd. Heidegger's hut wasn't just a writing retreat. It was a philosophical statement. It represented a deliberate choice to disconnect from the trivialities of the world, to reconnect with something more fundamental, one's own existence. Now let's fast forward to our world. A world Heidegger eerily predicted. His biggest warning wasn't about nuclear weapons or some sci-fi robot apocalypse. It was about something far more subtle, a concept he called Gestell, or the enframing. The enframing is a way of seeing the world where everything, and I mean everything, is reduced to a resource waiting to be used, optimized, and controlled. It's the mindset of technology, not just the tools themselves. Heidegger feared that this technological way of thinking would become so dominant that we'd lose the ability to see the world in any other way. We would start seeing nature, other people, and even ourselves as mere standing reserves, raw material on standby, ready for our consumption. When you look at a forest, do you see a mysterious, living ecosystem, a place of wonder and beauty? Or do you just see lumber, a quantifiable number of board feet, a resource to be harvested? When you look at a river, do you see a powerful, life-giving force of nature? Or do you just see hydroelectric potential, a set number of kilowatts to be generated? This is the enframing at work. And it doesn't stop with nature. It applies to us. Think about social media. When you look at a person online, do you see a complex individual with hopes, fears, and a rich inner life? Or do you see a user, a follower, a collection of data points, a profile to be swiped, liked, or ignored? Our language betrays us. We talk about human resources in business. We see people in terms of their utility, their function, their contribution to a system. We even do it to ourselves. We optimize our mornings, hack our productivity, and manage our personal brands. We treat our own lives like a project to be engineered, a problem to be solved. We've enframed ourselves. Heidegger's warning is that when everything becomes a standing reserve, nothing is allowed to simply be in its own right. Everything is reduced to its usefulness for us, and in the process, the world loses its magic, its mystery, and its meaning. So, if we're all NPCs trapped in a giant technological grid, how do we break out? This is where Heidegger's philosophy gets really intense, and frankly, a bit shocking. He says the key to an authentic life, the one true escape from the world of the dead, is to confront the one thing we spend our entire lives trying to ignore: our own death. Now, stay with me. This isn't about being morbid or depressed. For Heidegger, this concept, being towards death, is the ultimate wake-up call. He argues that death is the one possibility that is uniquely and absolutely your own. No one can die your death for you. Your parents can't. Your friends can't. Society can't. It is the one experience you cannot delegate. In a world where we share everything, our tastes, our opinions, our experiences, death is the final, unshareable moment. And in that, it makes you an individual. Most of the time, we live in denial. We distract ourselves with endless tasks, entertainment, and social drama. In 2026, we have the ultimate distraction machines in our pockets, designed to keep us scrolling, clicking, and consuming anything to avoid the quiet moment where the thought might creep in. This is all going to end. We see death as something that happens to them, to other people. It's an unfortunate accident, a statistic, but we don't truly face it as our own most certain possibility. Heidegger wants you to lean into it. He says that when you truly and authentically grasp that your time is finite, everything changes. Trivialities fall away. The opinions of they suddenly seem a lot less important. The pressure to conform, the fear of missing out, the desire to accumulate stuff, it all starts to look a bit ridiculous in the face of your own mortality. Facing your death isn't a source of sadness. It's a source of fuel. It's the ultimate motivator to stop living a borrowed life and start living your own. The relic of your life, the most precious thing you possess, isn't your stuff or your status. It's your limited time. And realizing that, truly realizing it, is what makes you free. It forces you to ask the most important question. Given that my time is limited, how do I want to be? So where does that leave us? Trapped in a digital world, numbing ourselves with distractions, all while running from the one truth that could set us free. It sounds bleak, but for Heidegger, this is precisely the point of departure. This is the moment you can choose to wake up. Heidegger is the philosopher you need right now because he forces you to stop using the world and start dwelling in it. To dwell is the opposite of enframing. It's to be present with things, to let them be what they are, without constantly trying to control or exploit them. It's sitting with a friend and just listening, without thinking about what you'll say next. It's walking in the woods and feeling the air and hearing the birds, without needing to post a picture of it. It's creating something for the sheer joy of it, not for the likes it will get. Dwelling is about presence, not productivity. It's the antidote to the algorithm. Heidegger is not offering an easy, 5-step plan to happiness. His philosophy is a challenge. It's a mirror held up to our modern lives, forcing us to see how we've become disconnected from ourselves, from each other, and from the world. He's asking you, are you really living your life, or are you just consuming it? Are you a unique being there? A Dasein? Or are you just another copy in the world of the they? Are you ready to stop being an NPC? The path to authenticity starts with small acts of rebellion against the enframing. It starts with choosing silence over noise, presence over distraction, and being over doing. So, here's a challenge. Next time your phone dies, don't rush to charge it. Don't panic. Just sit in the silence for a few minutes. See what comes up when there's nothing on the screen to look at. That's where Dasein is. That's where you might just start to hear your own voice again. Thanks for roaming with us today. If you're ready to question everything, subscribe to Roam Relique for more mind-bending wisdom. See you in the next one.